Let's talk fastball grips today. The first thing we want to talk about is having a loose grip. So the reason we want to have a loose grip is because having a loose grip allows us to have a loose arm, whereas a tight grip basically makes us have a tight arm. As soon as we have a loose grip, we allow ourselves the opportunity to have a loose arm, therefore better whip, better speed, better everything. So for a four seam fastball, we want to talk about the C. So we hold it here. We want to make sure so we don't, right? I was taught to have my middle finger on the middle of the ball, except for we don't release this one finger. So we want to have our pointer finger and middle finger centered on the ball, right? So if I had a line on the ball, they would be on either side. We want to think about having them relatively close together so that we can concentrate the spin off those fingers and get a little bit better drop and a little bit more power. Your ring finger and pinky finger can kind of just rest on the side. I'm a big fan of spreading these out a little bit because it helps you feel like you have a little bit more control over the ball without having to grip it tighter. The other thing we want to think about is having space under your thumb, especially if you have big enough hands to be able to do this. So, right, a lot of younger girls, they kind of have to hold it here. What we want to make sure of is no pressure under the thumb. And once the hands get big enough, we want to create some space there because, again, it allows us to be a little bit looser so we have better whip. Then the other thing we can talk about with a fastball, so this would be a four seam fastball. I'm also a very big fan of a two seam fastball. So there's a bunch of different grips that I have my pitchers try. So we can go with the classic two seam or your fingers on either side of the seam. We can go with your fingers on either seam or either side. My personal favorite is this grip where you're coming across the seams. I just really like the feel of having the seams under my knuckles. You can also go with the wide part, or you could even come under this bottom part here. So there's a lot of different variations. Try them all and see which one you like best. I really like a two seam because it gives you a different look without having to learn a different pitch.